So we're getting on the road. It's a few minutes after noon on Thursday. I'm in Cheyenne. I want to try to make Great Falls tonight, which is going to be about 10, 11 hours. I think we can do that pretty easily. We'll pull in right around midnight, I'm guessing, by the time I factor in fuel stops and potty stops and all that fun stuff. But why did we rent a truck? Why on earth did I rent a gas-powered F-250 when I have a perfectly good 7.3 liter truck right there at the house that could do this job no problem? I'll be honest, it was not an easy decision because renting a truck for 1,500 miles is not inexpensive. It's not crazy, but it's going to be a little under $1,000. Why do that? Well, as much as I love my 7.3, it's a 20-year-old truck with over 250,000 miles on it. I think mine in particular is at 233, 234,000, something like that. Well, this is a good look, isn't it? Side of the road, hood open, got the meter out. This one is entirely my fault because I'm used to my truck in which everything works. So when I grabbed this truck, we did the walk-around inspection at the rental place, and all of the lights on the truck work. But as I discovered, now that dusk is falling, I turned the headlights on, and I looked in my mirror, and I did not have any running lights on the trailer, which is a problem for a guy like me that needs to drive another 6 hours tonight. But now we have running lights. We have had brake and turn signal lights, which is a very good thing. And now all of our lights work. I just pulled off over here on the exit for Ranchester, and credit to Wyoming, I've been here, I don't know, I've been here maybe 10 minutes, and I've had one guy stop. Oops, sorry, baby. One guy stopped and walked back here to check on me and see if I was okay. And then as I was recording this, the guy in that little Jeep slowed down and like did a double take and just made sure I didn't look like I was super in distress. So this truck takes these tiny little micro fuses that I did not have any spares for over there. But what we do have is a fuse for a heated rear seat. I'm not sure if you can tell, but this XL level work truck did not come with heated seats anywhere. So we just borrowed that fuse and stuck it in the trailer marker light hole, and now we're good. All right, 7:15 p.m. and we've made it to Billings. Getting dinner at the finest Dairy Queen I could locate right off the interstate in the drive-thru with the trailer. I've never taken a trailer through a drive-thru before, but this one has a huge open area back there, and it's almost a straight shot down the side of the building. So this worked out really well. I have got one significant complaint with this truck. I don't know how to deal with the alarm. When I get out and I lock the truck, you set the alarm off. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's an internal sensor. I went into the alarm menu in the dash and I set it to perimeter only, but somehow every time I get out and lock it, the alarm goes off. So that's super annoying because I can't leave it unlocked, but I can't get out and go into a restaurant and take her with me. So let's get food. All right, so we are stopped in Lavina, Montana. You can see there's beautiful old buildings out here. I think I actually just passed through town a second ago. I'm sitting in front of the post office right there. We're gonna go up there toward that flashing light where those headlights are, make a left on 12 and take that out for a little while. The roads have not been good. They haven't been awful, but probably the first 20 miles since we left Billings, man, there was just so much snow and ice on the road, I couldn't hardly get over 25, 30 miles an hour. And even right there, I don't know if you guys could hear it, but the traction control kind of kicked on the on the pickup just pulling out across that slick spot in the road. So definitely some interesting driving. I wish it was daylight because I'm sure this is absolutely beautiful scenery, but it is what it is. I certainly don't want to stop and sit here till morning. That's for darn sure. All right, it is 8:45 and this is Rygate, Montana. I really wish it was daylight because I really would love to see some of this. There's the grocery store. Looks like some sort of, it's hard to see, but grain elevator or ag facility right there. That's some sort of grain storage facility. Well, we have made it to Harlowton, Montana, folks. It is about 15 degrees Fahrenheit at 9:30 p.m. on a, what's this, Thursday? There's a gas station right here where we just filled up the truck again. $3.49 a gallon. Diesel consistently has been about 30 cents a gallon more everywhere we've stopped this whole trip. So the mileage on the gas truck may not be as good as the diesel. We're gonna have to do the math at the end of this and figure it out. But that 30 cents a gallon savings, man, that adds up and makes a big difference. And frankly, I'm not so sure the mileage on this is gonna be all that much worse than the 7.3 when everything's said and done. Overall, what do I think about the F-250 so far? Man, I am super glad I rented this truck. I love the 7.3, I love the 450, but this thing is just, it is so comfortable to drive. It has got plenty of power. The seats are great. The steering is nice and tight. The suspension is, I mean, for being a full-size truck, the suspension is nice and fairly soft, but not like bouncy or unstable soft, just like comfortable soft. The seats compared to that 02, man, you really sit down in the seats and you really, like, they just hug you in really well. I really like this truck. Well, folks, I think this is gonna do it for the evening. It is 11:45 at night, 14 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are going to bed. We're at Walmart in Great Falls, Montana. I'm not thrilled with my parking space. I'm right here under a couple of street lights, but could be worse. I'm gonna try to shut the truck off. I'd rather not idle it all night, but then again, it is 14 degrees, but I got a bunch of wool blankets, so we should be okay. I don't know that I would necessarily go this route again. Going from Billings up to Havre, clearly coming through Great Falls, was a little bit out of the way. It added an hour or so to the drive. I'm sure it added a bunch of miles that I'm going to get to pay for. Yeah, for you guys that don't know, when you rent a truck, it comes with a certain amount of miles per day that they allow you to drive. And for my 4-day rental, I think I got like 600 miles. I think they give you 150 miles a day, and we're not even where we're going yet, and we have exceeded that by probably somewhere around 100 miles. Good morning, folks. Welcome to Great Falls. I parked on the wrong side of this building to see the sunrise, but I really wasn't thinking all that through last night. We just needed to sleep somewhere, right? So when I called to rent a truck from Enterprise, I initially requested a gas engine crew cab, and at the time, they didn't have any available. They were all rented out. The guy told me he could put me in a 1-ton crew cab, either an F-350 or a Ram 3500, you know, not sure which, one of the two, and it was gonna have the 6.7 liter diesel. That's all I could get, so that's what I was gonna take and be happy to have. But the reason I'm in this gas truck kind of exemplifies one of my big problems, and one of the reasons I don't think I would ever want to own another diesel pickup truck. the day before I was supposed to pick it up. This is Thursday. They called me yesterday afternoon and said, hey, your truck that we have sitting here waiting on you was parked outside, and something in the DEF system froze overnight when it got down to like 10 or 15 degrees below zero, and it had to get towed into the shop. So we're going to have to find you a replacement vehicle. And that right there exemplifies a huge part of the reason I'm just over the idea of having a diesel pickup in a lot of ways. All right, so we are loaded up in Havre. I'll show you guys what we got going on here. We got a little electric pallet jack that's dead. We got a scissor lift that kind of sort of runs. And we got a little electric forklift that kind of sort of runs. Okay, so we're loaded, and this is where we're really gonna see the test, right? Because I would expect any 3/4 ton, any 6.2 liter V8 to do a good job towing an empty trailer that weighs like 2,500, 3,000 pounds. That's no big deal. Now that we're loaded, that pallet stacker and the scissor lift are each probably about 3,500 pounds. So those two combined would be 7K. The little pallet jack we've got is about 900 to 1,000. So I'm going to say there's, you know, roughly 8,000 pounds on the trailer plus the weight of the trailer itself. We're right in that 10,000, 10.5 ballpark of load behind this thing. And this is where we're really going to see the difference between gas and diesel. Because right now, let me turn you around. We're getting 12 miles to the gallon right now, which for a pickup truck towing 3,000 pounds of empty trailer, that's about what my 7.3 would do. That's about what most 7.3 diesels I have driven would do. And frankly, just, man, from the trip up here with this empty trailer, if I were buying a truck, it wouldn't be another diesel. I love my 7.3, the 450. I don't plan on it going anywhere, but man, these gas trucks have come a long way since my 97 with the little 5.8 liter in it. But for now, we're gonna go see a big bud. We're in Havre, Montana. There's a ton of cool stuff around Havre. I am having a great time just being up here this morning. The company Big Equipment that built the Big Bud tractors back in the like 70s and 80s, they're literally right around the corner right up here, and they've got one out front. So we're gonna go see if they'll let me look at it and walk around it with a camera. Oh, there's another one. There's another Big Bud. Look right there. That white articulate, Big Bud. And this SUV coming, probably a cop. So please don't pull me over for filming. This is definitely not hands-free, but that's okay. We're gonna make a left. We're gonna go. Oh, this is Torgeson's right here. You guys that watch Welker Farms, this is Welker Farms country right here. We're in Havre. I think they're over towards Shelby, which is 100 miles. I'm looking at a sign right in front of me that says Shelby, 101 miles to the west. And then Big Equipment should be right. Well, I know where it is. It's right up here. So we're actually backtracking a little bit, going the wrong way, because I want to go see a Big Bud. So I stopped because there's that Big Bud, and then there's another Big Bud over there behind the sprayer. But I got distracted by this little cat, man. I love stuff with traction. I love cats. Tractor number 7U8183 D4. It's a neat little dozer, man. Lloyd Torgeson's Incorporated, Etheridge, Montana. I bet they sold this thing new. Can you read that? Ford New Holland, Mexico, Case IH, and apparently cat. Excellent point. So this is, I believe, the biggest tractor, or the biggest Big Bud in the world. Anyway, this is the 747 Power Shift Big Bud. Look at that. That is a massive engine. Got the Goodyear Titan tire LSW 1400s on it. Williams Brothers. I'm not gonna climb up on it. Man, what a cool tractor. And huge. Well, this was awesome. I got to see 2 big buds. You know, I've never seen a big bud in person before, and I know it would have been cool to climb up inside them and look around, but there was nobody, there wasn't a salesman here, and they have a business to run. You know, it's different if you see one at a farm show or something. So maybe we'll come back. I tried to find a salesman to ask about that cat. I really don't need an antique bulldozer, but I really do want one. So, because we make such excellent financial decisions, we might drive 12 hours back up here and buy a clapped out Caterpillar. I've done worse. For now, we're gonna go get some gasoline, and then we are headed to Billings. We're gonna go the other way. We're gonna cross the Belknap Reservation. We're gonna go through Roundup and Clark. I've got one of these machines theoretically sold already off the trailer, so I may be able to get rid of like 3,500 pounds and not have to tow it all the way back home, which would be, that would be nice. For the last week or so, we have had some incredibly cold weather. It has been 10 to 15 degrees below zero with high temperatures of like 1 or 2 degrees Fahrenheit. And I don't care if you have a Ford, a GM, or a Dodge, diesel fuel will gel up at those temperatures. Yes, you can put additives in it. Yes, some of them work better than others. But no matter what, you're running that risk that you absolutely do not have with a gasoline engine. A buddy of mine, we were on the phone when it happened. He had just loaded up a bunch of firewood in his 7.3 dump truck, got like a mile from his house, and the truck gelled up and he had to drag it home with a V10. He runs the same house fuel treatment that I do. You never have a problem until you have a problem. And I cannot tell you how many stories I have had over the last, 7 years, almost 8 years I've lived out here, of working on equipment with gelled up fuel filters, or service trucks that won't start because they're gelled up, or my pickup that is having a fuel issue, or, and that's just the fuel side of it. Even if you live somewhere that it doesn't get that cold and you're not as prone to fuel gelling, or if you just have a ton of faith in some sort of anti-gel additive, which again, a lot of them work really well, but it's still a risk you don't have with a gas engine. The other big problem is DEF. I don't care what brand truck you have, whether it's a Peterbilt, a Freightliner, a Dodge, or a Ford, you're gonna have a DEF problem. Period. DEF freezes, you get low quality DEF, you get contaminated DEF, you get emissions problems, and deleting them for a lot of guys, especially right now, is just not an option. If for no other reason than you go buy a brand new pickup truck and have to basically throw your warranty out the window if you do that. Well, we are in Billings, Montana, and about 3,000 pounds lighter, which makes me happy. Maybe we'll get a little better mileage the rest of the way home, huh? Hey, let's go. Good girl. Good morning. It's about 6 o'clock. We just got up here at the truck stop in Buffalo. We got in about 8 o'clock last night, 8:30, and I was just wiped. Got food, decided to sleep a little bit. Let's go home. All right, so we just stopped in Chugwater because, well, you'll see in a second, but if you're passing through the area on I-25 in southeastern Wyoming, make a few minutes, stop in Chugwater. There's the Homesteaders Machinery Museum that's pretty cool to walk through. This is really just a great town, a great place. There's the old rail grain facility right here. And right here, this green building that we're about to go in is the Chugwater Soda Fountain. It is the oldest operating soda fountain in the state of Wyoming. So we are back at the truck rental place, and this is what we have done. 8.5 miles to the gallon average, 1,634 miles in 40 hours. Is that right? Okay. And then trip 2 is all loaded mileage coming through the mountains of Montana. We're back in the old 7.3, and what can I say? You know, when I was 16 years old, these trucks were sitting brand new on the dealer lots, right? Like, this is the truck I was dreaming about when I got my driver's license. This is the truck that I really wanted to own one day, and I was just all super excited about it. So in that sense, you know, hey man, I'm driving my dream car right now, and that's really hard to argue with. You can do the math, you can talk about fuel economy and breakdowns and mileage, and at the end of the day, you only live once. So if you're hardcore set on having a new Power Stroke or a Duramax or a Cummins or whatever it is, hey man, go get it. You only live once, you know, we don't get to do this over. So if that's what makes you happy and that's what you're into, go for it, do it. For a guy like me that's looking at it from a little more like a work truck perspective, a practical use perspective, I don't know that I could personally make it make sense. Like, if you're doing big highway miles a lot, or if you're hauling really heavy loads a lot, that might be a different story, but I don't think that I personally would buy another diesel pickup. Not right now, anyway. And I'm really curious to try this new 7.3 gas engine with the 10-speed automatic. I have heard really great things about that transmission, and I've heard really great things about that engine. So I'm sure the two together are an awesome, awesome combination. Maybe we'll try one out here before long. In the meantime, since I've been home, we've had one decent snowstorm. The little case wheel loader earned its keep, but you guys are going to see that coming up real soon. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and more later.